So on this Big Truck Series Market Watch, Ask Big Truck Series, it says, my name is Chris and I wanted to invest in stocks very soon. I have a handful of company, but I'm working with 2,500. So I wanted to know what are the top 5 investments I should make because I like McDonald's and Apple, but I don't know what I should do. Should I take my money and buy hundreds here or there or something else, 1,000 at a time? I guess the first thing that I should say is that cryptocurrency is not actually a currency, and it's also not a stock in the typical sense of the word. It's really treated as a commodity by most trading platforms. Scottrade, which I normally use for everything else, won't allow me to purchase Bitcoin through them. So what you have to end up doing is you can log into Coinbase and you could start an account with Coinbase.com. Or what you can do is you can use E-Trade. Either one of those will be able to help you, especially when it comes to some of the smaller cryptos that I've mentioned just recently in my last video. And before anybody tries to attack me because I said that cryptocurrency isn't really a currency, the simple fact of the matter is that Bitcoin does not have its own value. Bitcoin is valued in fiat currencies such as the US dollar, for one. When you purchase something in Bitcoin, you're not purchasing it in Bitcoin. You're selling the Bitcoin in order to have US dollars given to you, and then you're taking the US dollars and purchasing something. Perfect example is the guy who recently bought himself a Lamborghini Huracan in Bitcoin. He didn't buy it in Bitcoin. He bought it based on US dollars. There are a lot of companies out there that are trying to buy Bitcoin from you, and they are willing to offer you sale price so that they can buy the Bitcoin from you, and they're offering you US dollars, or they're offering you Chinese yuan, or they're offering you Japanese yen. Bitcoin is not a currency until you absolutely see a country with its official currency as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not a currency until workers are getting paid in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not a currency until goods and services are specifically valued in Bitcoin, and it's no longer based on a fiat currency. Unlike gold and silver, Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. Bitcoin doesn't even exist when there's no electricity. Like, for instance, if I turn my computers off, there's no more Bitcoin. It just doesn't exist. But if I have a bar of gold or if I have some gold coins, them shits exist. The intrinsic value comes from the fact that gold has always been used as a precious metal, since, first of all, gold does not tarnish, gold does not rust. So something made of gold has an intrinsic value where it will not ever basically fade from the earth so long as it's not melted down or whatever. And silver has antimicrobial properties, which means that silver can be used in medicine and whatnot. Those are intrinsic values. Bitcoin does not have either of those. It is not really a currency. And that's part of the reason why I never trusted the Bitcoin market. I never trusted the cryptocurrency market. However, if you're savvy enough to get in, drop some money, and then get out when it goes up, basically that's when you make your profit. They call it buying the dip. So right now, Bitcoin I'm looking at is $9,400. If Bitcoin dips into the 8,000 range, that will signal a lot of people to go in and buy. That's called buying the dip. Now, the thing about it is I absolutely at this point believe Bitcoin's going to 10,000 because it wasn't even like a week ago the shit hit 8,000, but it wasn't even a week before that it hit 7,000. So it appears to me that there's a lot of people dumping a lot of money into Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin also has a market cap, just like everything else. So as far as I'm concerned, it can't rise in perpetuity. So that means that when Bitcoin purchases cool down and people sell off or whatever, what's most likely going to happen is that money that's left on the table is going to be looking for other places to go, which is the reason why I'm trying to get these other cryptocurrencies while they're still in the low penny range or while they're still in the under $1 range. But that's just how I think. I like to buy low and sell high. Well, let me be the first to say that I'm extremely bearish, and I honestly have a hard time putting my money in cryptocurrency. I had more faith in the longevity of weed stocks and medical pharma stocks than I do in cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, cryptocurrency keeps proving me wrong by constantly improving my investment. So if you're saying that you have a little less than $25,000, or I'm sorry, $2,500, then my recommendation, and listen, you know, the problem is all people who give stock advice have to issue disclaimers, because the simple fact of the matter is this shit at the very basis of it all is still gambling. So there's always the possibility that you could lose $2,500 if you put $2,500 in. However, considering this morning Bitcoin had crossed 9,000 and now it's, what is it, 6 o'clock, and the shit is up to 9,429, my recommendation is you put the entire 2,500 in Bitcoin. Now, that's a recommendation, and I'm not, you know, forcing you to do anything. I'm just saying that if you can live without that money, the best recommendation I can say is to put $2,500 into Bitcoin. Now, if you don't want to invest the entire thing into Bitcoin, I could also recommend you split it up between Ethereum and Litecoin. So if you have $2,500, you could buy 2 Ethereums and you could buy like 1 Litecoin or something. Actually, you could buy like 4 Ethereums and you could buy like maybe 3 Litecoins, I think, off the top of my head. But it really depends on you. But right now, these are the 3 major crypto movers right now. And if you saw the last little video snippet I did, then you saw some of those stock symbols for other cryptos that I'm planning on getting into. So, I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, $2,500 is a sizable investment. But considering the way things are moving, I mean, you know, I think Bitcoin, you know, you can't quote me on this, but I really think this is what's going to happen. But the trajectory is upwards right now. And I really believe that before Christmas, possibly before the end of tomorrow, Bitcoin may cross $10,000. So because the banks are closed right now, you don't have the ability to get that money into your Coinbase. That's the website I'm using. But you may not have the access right now to get that money into there. However, if you use Coinbase right now, all of the trades that you place are pretty much instantaneous, and they hold the value of where you actually placed a trade. So, I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, either you could throw it all into Bitcoin and risk it there, or you could buy equal Ethereum and Litecoins. So that's my advice to you.